Hi everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're going to focus on stretching out and recovering our shoulders and hips and our side body, because in the last video I was really sore after doing that workout, even though it was really short. And today I just felt like I needed to do something to recover from that. So go ahead and try that workout, and then if you feel sore the next day, try this video out. So we're going to start by lying down on our backs. Our knees bent, feet on the mat, and arms straight along by our sides. Press your whole body into the mat and start to soften your eyes or close them completely. Start to tune into your breath. See if you can elongate the inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose at the same length. Notice the pelvis pressing into the mat, the ribs, the shoulder blades, and your head. Try to find a little bit length here in the back of the neck, and see if you can draw your belly button down into the mat. Press all corners of your feet into the mat from your pinky toe, big toe, and your heel. Then start to lift your hips up into a bridge. Really stretch out the front of your knees over your feet. Then lower the hips down. Lift the hips up. Inhale, find length. Exhale, lower everything down. Belly button comes into the mat. And then again, lift up. Exhale slowly. Now, as you lift the hips, reach your arms up toward the ceiling, then back behind you. Exhale, sweep the arms back as you lower the hips. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower the arms and hips. Inhale, reach up, stretch your knees past your mat. And exhale, lower everything down. Now inhale, sweep your arms out to the side as you lift your hips up. Exhale, sweep your arms forward and down to your hips. And again, lift the hips up, arms around as you inhale. Exhale, lower everything down. Do that again. And reverse direction, so bring the arms up and sweep them out to the sides as you lower the hips down. And we're just going to take one more like that. Arms swim around to the sides as you lower your hips down. Very nice. Then we're going to take a supine pigeon. So place one foot onto your thigh. So you're like in a figure four. And then pick your foot up, bringing your shin close to your chest and hold onto your thigh. Pull that leg in closer and flex your foot that's hooked onto your thigh for a pigeon. Remember to breathe evenly in and out through the nose. And let your shoulders grow heavy. Press them into the mat. And find a little bit of space right behind your heart. Then lower your foot down onto the mat. Take your foot off and do the other side, making sure you're flexing your foot. Bring your knee in. You can hold onto your thigh. And let the pigeon just come to you. Breathe into the side of your glutes. Again, opening up the chest, finding a little bit of space in the back of the heart. And then set your foot down And we're gonna take a supine twist. So stretch one leg out, bring one knee in, cross it over the body, and stretch one arm out to the side of your mat as one hand brings your knee down. Notice the stretch in the front of your shoulder, in your low back. Untwist yourself and then do the other side. Remember to tune into your breath. Then uncross your leg, and then you can sit up, and we're gonna come into a reverse tabletop. So your feet are still on the mat, arms are coming behind you, and you can have your fingers facing in any direction you want. If your wrists are a little bit weak, or you have trouble being on your hands, I should say, you can bring your hands further back so that it's less weight on your hands. And then lift your hips up into the air, creating a table with your body, and lengthen your neck, just having a slight tuck of the chin so your head isn't totally hanging over your shoulders. And then have a slight bend in the elbows. I tend to overextend here. That way we're not collapsing into our elbow joint, and keep lifting the hips up. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And exhale, lower the hips down. Now we're gonna do that again, but switch the direction of our fingers. So if your fingers were facing away, then try to turn them out to the side or towards your feet, and vice versa. So you're just gonna do the same thing. Have a soft bend in your elbows, lift the hips up into the air, and you should feel a slightly different stretch in your shoulders. So right now our arms are in internal rotation. And we're just stretching the upper body a little differently. Try to keep that neck long and supported, hips lifted. Then lower your hips down slowly to the mat. Very nice. Okay, now we're gonna come to standing and come to one side of your mat. We're gonna do something called the snake and twist. So this is not from yoga. This is actually from Pilates. So cross your right foot over your left, and then inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, you're gonna turn toward your mat, doing a little bit of a twist and a side bend, and walk your hands out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips down, lift your chest up. So this is a little bit of a back extension. Then pike your hips back up, walk back to your feet. And then inhale, reach back up. Exhale, dive it back down. We're gonna do that one more time. Walk your hands out for 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower your hips down, draw the shoulders back. Belly button comes in, toning the abs. Chest lifts up, then pike your hips, walk it back. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower the arms. Now, we're going to do that again, but with the twist. So inhale, reach your arms up. Then walk down your mat for 4, 3, 2, 1. Before you lower your hips, start to twist and look at your feet. And lower your hips now. This is the twist. Then pike your hips back up. Feet stay on the ground. And then inhale, reach it back up. Now take one more here. What we're challenging is our body's ability to perform all types of ranges of motion from the core. So we're really working the obliques and the abs here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Now, walk over to the other side of your mat. So you're gonna cross your left foot over your right. Inhale, reach up. And then turn toward your mat. Walk it out for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hips down. See if you can get your hips to turn toward the mat a little bit more and lift your chest up. And pike it up. Walk it back. Stand up tall. This is also challenging my balance. And then walk back down your mat. Then lift the chest, shoulders draw down the back, and pike it up. Inhale, reach up. Now let's do our twist. Turn toward your mat, walk down. Before you lower your hips, you're gonna start to turn, look at your feet. Then you can lower your hips, and then walk your hands back. Take your twist. Strong shoulders here, strong core. Walk it back. And inhale, reach up. Lower the arms down as you exhale and then cross your legs. Okay, now we're gonna take some side planks. So, just incorporating a little bit of core in our recovery, no big deal. So I'm gonna start by kneeling, setting one hand down, stretching one leg out onto the mat. Then you can just stay here in your side plank with one knee down, making sure you're lifting the ribs up. Or you can straighten both legs and just hold it for 3 breaths here. Make sure you're nice and strong in the shoulder that's propping you up. And see if you can lift your leg up here for a breath. Set your foot down. And now you're gonna actually bend that knee underneath you and take a little bit of a stretch here, bringing your top arm behind you, taking a little bit of a arch in your back. And then you're gonna come out of that stretch and do side plank on the other side. So knee is down, one leg is outstretched, and you can just hold the plank here or take whatever variation you like and hold it for 3 breaths. I want you to feel very strong in your side body, lifting it up and drawing the shoulders down the back, feeling your armpit really contracting. Then try to lift your foot if you did it on the other side. And then set your foot down, bring one knee under, and then take that opener to the front side of the body. And then come out of that. Now, we're gonna come onto our hands and knees for bird dog. Again, just a little bit of core. So bring your right hand forward, left foot back, and then lift the limbs up off the mat and hold for 3 breaths. See if you can lift the arms and legs higher. Point your toes toward the ground so your heel is pushing out toward the wall behind you. And try not to let your back arch. Maybe you can tuck your tailbone a little, draw your belly button in, and set the arms and legs down. We're gonna do the other side. So my left arm is forward, right leg is back, and lift everything up. And try to push your chest away from the ground. So instead of collapsing down, you're really using a little bit more of your shoulder muscles here to keep yourself supported. Lift the leg and arm up a little higher. See if you can tense your abs a little bit more. Then lower everything down. Very nice. Shake out your wrists if you need to. And then we're gonna come into standing again. So we're gonna turn and face the front of our mat, standing at the front. And then just take a few arm circles. So inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, circle them out and around, drawing real big circles. 2 more times. See if you can find a little bit of lift and arch in your upper back, just behind your heart. And now do the other side. Inhale, reach up from behind, and then exhale, lower down 2 more times. Find length here. Exhale and inhale. And lower the arms down. Now we're gonna take our half sun sail. So you're gonna inhale, reach your arms into cactus actually. And exhale, dive yourself forward toward your mat. Have a soft bend in the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold and grab opposite elbows, letting your whole upper body hang down heavy. You can shake your head no. Shake your head yes. And then slowly roll up. So start at the base of your tailbone. You can unhook your arms. See if you can roll through your low back first, then through your middle back. Shoulders are still rounded forward here. And then your head is the last to come up. So if you ever get dizzy, maybe you need to come up a little bit slower. So that's one way to do it. And you're also working through your spinal joint movement here. So we're gonna do that a few more times. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive it forward. And actually we're gonna take our full sun salutation A. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we're gonna come into our plank. Chaturanga down. And inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Now pedal out the feet. Still your movements. Bend your right knee and bring your knee toward the ceiling. This is our hip opener. Then lift that knee up higher. See if you can draw circles into the ceiling. Just do 3 here in each direction. And then reverse your circles. This one's a bit of a challenge because you're balancing on 3 limbs. So remember to tune into your breath. And then set that right foot down. Bring your left knee up toward the ceiling now. And try to keep your chest toward the mat rather than facing the wall to the side. Draw 3 big circles here. And then switch directions. Okay, and then you can set that left foot down. Then walk your feet back to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. And just imagine that your shoulders and your head are made of lead. So they're really heavy. So as you come up, you're just rolling through your spine. As everything continues to hang until you lift all the way up, coming to a straight posture. Then we're going to do that one more time. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, set the hands down, chaturanga, and upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And here, you get to choose whatever motion, whatever movement you like. So you can keep pedaling out the legs, do more of those hip openers, whatever you like. And stay here for 2 more breaths. See if you can push your hips back more so you're really feeling it in the back of your calves, stretching out your hamstrings. And then travel back to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And slowly rise back up to standing. See if you can cactus your arms here. And exhale, lower the arms down. Now turn and face the side, the long edge of your mat. Take a wide stance here. We're going to come into warrior 2. So one foot is pointed toward the long edge. One foot is pointed toward the front. And then rather than stretching our arms out, let's see if we can grab opposite elbows behind our back. Now sink into that warrior 2, opening up that chest. Then inhale, straighten that front leg, reach that front arm up and back like a rainbow so that you can take your reverse warrior. Then exhale, sink into your warrior two, taking that bind behind the arms or behind the back. And reverse your warrior. And I just need to adjust something. There we go. Then come into your side angle. So front knee is bent, arm is resting on your thigh, and then we're gonna take a bind actually. So rather than having this arm up, you're gonna rotate your palm, bring your hand behind you. See if you can grab onto your thigh. And then see if you can complete the bind by bringing the other arm around your leg to meet and hold onto your hand. Then come out of that bind, stand up tall, straighten both legs, and turn your feet to do the other side. So come into warrior two, take that bind of the elbow, see if you can reverse the grip behind your arm. So one arm is on top of the other in a different way. Hold it for a breath. Straighten your front leg, sweep that front arm up and over for your reverse warrior. Then warrior two, bind the arms. Reverse your warrior. And then exhale, bring your arm to your thigh, reach up for your side angle, and then bring that arm back. See if you can hold onto your thigh or complete the bind. Then bring your arm back onto your thigh, stand back up nice and tall, and we're gonna keep our stance nice and wide and go into goddess. So now our toes are actually pointed diagonally toward the corners of our mat, and you're gonna bend your knees, and then you can keep your arms in cactus. This is usually how goddess pose looks, or take the bind behind your back. If you do this, you could just take some arm circles, which feels really nice actually. So I'm gonna do it this way. And then if you draw circles, go ahead and reverse the motion. I'm just doing 5 in each direction. Keeping your stance nice and strong, tailbone tucked under. And then still your emotions here. Just start to sway side to side. Getting a little bit of movement here. Making sure you're pressing all your weight through your whole foot here. Then we're gonna skandasana over to our right side, come into that deep transverse lunge. Then you want to bring your chest a little bit forward toward the mat so you can reach one arm in front of your knee and spread your arms out wide open. And then with the other foot, I want you to flex and point it a few times so that we're not ignoring our very important ankle muscles. Then still your motions, bring your hands to the mat, side lunge it over to the other side, bring your knee behind your shoulder, spread your arms apart, and go ahead, move through that other ankle, flexing and pointing. Then still your motions. And then from here, turn and face one end of your mat, wherever end of the mat you're on. You're gonna do a deep low lunge. So if you need blocks, you can go ahead and place them by your foot or place your hands on your thigh, whatever is comfortable, and just let everything sink into this pose. Then shift your weight back, come into a half splits. You can dive your head toward your knee. Shift your weight forward, come back into that low lunge, and you can even take the quad stretch here, grabbing one foot with your opposite arm. Then release your foot. If you took the quad stretch, take one more half splits. Just breathe into the back of your leg. And then we're gonna do the other side. So I'm gonna sweep that leg back, bring my left foot forward, and then sink into that low lunge. Shift your weight back to your half splits. And shift your weight forward to your low lunge. Grab your foot with your opposite hand and pull that foot in. It also feels really good when you push your foot back into your hand. So you're getting a stretch in a slightly different way. Then let go of your foot. And then we're gonna come seated onto our mat, just facing the front. Extend your legs out in front of you. And we will take Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is our seated twist. So I'm gonna bend my left leg in, cross it over my right, and flex my right foot. Then you can either just hug your knee into your chest, or reach your right arm up, inhale, find length. Exhale, twist to hook your elbow onto your knee. Now my back arm is on the ground, really close to my hips actually. It's not super far out, so I'm leaning back. I'm gonna keep it close so that I can really push into the ground and lift my hips or lift my spine up a lot higher. So try that out. And remember to breathe here. Inhaling, growing taller. Exhaling, twisting deeper. Try to focus on opening up the chest here, finding a little bit of space in the back of the heart, and even bringing your chin back just a little bit. It's okay if you have a double chin, as long as you're really opening up your chest. It's okay, it's only yoga. No judgment here. And then come out of your twist and do the other side. So flex your left foot, bring your right leg in, hook it over your other leg, reach up, or you can hug your knee, and then twist. Push your fingertips into the ground, lift your spine up nice and tall. Trying to correct our posture here, because usually with our modern lifestyles, we tend to be a little bit more hunched forward. So one of the goals in yoga is to counteract that. Find your double chin or find that wall behind your head. And then untwist yourself. Now, you're gonna keep your leg bent actually, and we're gonna take Marichyasana. So that is a pose often done in Ashtanga. So you're gonna curl your abs forward and try to bring your right shoulder in front of your right knee, or whatever knee is bent. And then try to really fold yourself. So you have to use your abs. Then wrap your arm around your knee, and you're gonna have your palm facing out. And you can stay here, or grab a strap so that you can bind your arms together, or clasp your hands if you're able to do that. Let yourself sink down into the forward fold. as you clasp your hands tightly behind your back. Then slowly unbind your arms, roll up to seated, and do the other side. So sit up nice and tall. Then fold forward, try to bring that shoulder in front of the knee. Wrap your arm around, and then grab a strap if you need. Bind your arms behind your back, and breathe. Slowly come out of that. Roll your spine back up. And then keep that leg bent. We're going to do leg cradles. So hook your foot into your elbow, knee into the other elbow. Your shin should be parallel with the front edge of your mat. And start to rock back and forth, gently stretching out your hips and your legs. Make sure the chest and the collarbones are broad and you're sitting up nice and tall. See if you can pull that shin in closer and then let that foot go and do the other side. Make sure you're flexing that foot instead of sickling it. You don't want your foot to be coming over the arm. You really want to pull the toes back and then hug your elbow around your knee and rock back and forth gently. My left side is always tighter than my right, so I don't have quite as big of a range of motion here, but the stretch still feels really good. Pull your shin in a little bit closer to your chest here, and if you're feeling any discomfort at all in your knee, then try to ease out of the pose. You really only want to feel it in the side of your hips, your butt basically, not in your knee. And then unhook that foot out of your arms. And then we're going to come into child's pose here. So you're going to sit onto your heels, stretch your arms forward. Stretch open the front and the sides of your shoulders and abs. Walk your hands further out so that your elbows aren't on the mat. And then you're going to come out of that pose just a little bit, lifting your hips slightly so that you can bring one leg out to the side for a side splits. Breathe into the inside of your thigh. We call those the leg or the hip adductors. Those muscles are responsible for bringing the leg in toward the midline of our body. And I'm even just pressing my heel into the mat and then rotating my leg out and in. Then you can bring that leg back in and do the other side. And I'm just going to rotate my leg a few times here. It's kind of uncomfortable because of the floor, but it is a really good stretch throughout my whole leg. Okay, and then bring that leg in, and then you can do that again on each side, or try to take a supported version of the splits by taking a bolster, blankets, pillows, or blocks, setting it down, and you're basically straddling it. And then you straighten your legs out to the side, and you can even come down onto your forearms and just hang out here. Just breathe into the pose. We're almost done, but let's not forget our breath. And notice whatever sensations are happening right now. You should feel a stretch, and you should feel a deep sensation in your groin area, but it shouldn't be a sharp pain. I actually even feel it along my knee because there are muscles that attach down here that I'm stretching out. But if anything feels uncomfortable or sharp, then that's usually a sign that you should ease out of the pain. So whenever we're exercising, doing any form of movement, it's important to be able to recognize and distinguish the different types of pain and sensations we feel. Sometimes if something is uncomfortable, it just means that we're stretching our body and moving it in a way that it's not used to. So it's not necessarily bad, but on the other hand, we have to be able to distinguish that from any pain that could potentially harm our body. And for everyone, that's going to be a little bit different, and people's pain tolerances are different. So you just have to learn to listen to your body, respond to it, and play it safe. That's usually how I like to do it, but you know, to each their own. Then slowly walk yourself back up if you are on your forearms. Bend your knees. Come out of whatever variation of the side splits you are on. Come to seated on your mat. And we're just going to take a moment here to sit up tall and take a moment of gratitude here in our day. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Soften your eyes and just take this moment to appreciate yourself and this moment, and for allowing yourself to exist and take care of yourself. I bow my head to you in gratitude for spending your practice with me. And I wish you a safe, healthy, and happy journey on to the rest of your week. And I will see you again next time. Goodbye.